But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to pussyfoot around any longer. Sony Digital is ready. Titan Frost is ready. It's time to get into some duels.
It's time, and Warrior versus Enhancement Charm on Hand of Rag. I think, what do you think, Tips, in this matchup? Who should take it?
This is a matchup that I would typically say favors Warriors, only because at this point in the game, Warriors have gotten so much more gear than they had during the qualifiers. Sony Digital especially has been absolutely decked out. He didn't get the Bone Reaver's Edge that he was hoping for last week, but he does have that Earthshaker that has a chance to knock down all nearby enemies for 3 seconds, coupled with the Mace specialization talent that he has, and he just jumps right into it, immediately disarms Titan Frost, who does not have a weapon chain on his Hand of Ragnaros, so it's basically worthless. Into the Mortal Strike, as well as the Earthshaker stun, just what we were talking about right now. Sony has Titan Frost on the ropes, who unleashes the Earthshock, gets his Hand of Ragnaros back, and launches the net. Sony immediately spider belting out of that net, and he's just all over Titan Frost. Does he get the pummel on the Lessening Healing Wave? He's holding on to it. He goes for the Earth Stomp, not resisted by Titan Frost, the Orc, who has to pop the Whipper Root Tuber. Intimidating shot, though, comes out from Sony. Is he going to go for the intercept? No, he just wants to finish this off fast and quick, and he gets the execute. And here we go. Sony Digital.
Sony charging in right there. Big combo there from Titan Frost with that grenade. Sony trying to do what he can here to get a little bit of distance. Keep swinging there. He has the Mortal Strike active as well. Intercepts back in with the grenade, and he's in execute range. He lands the pommel. Now full executes are going to be flying in. Earthshaker stun off of that pommel as well. And Sony Digital. And as per the rules, Trickster is actually allowed to try to take him out if he so chooses. And now that 25 seconds have passed.
Absolutely. Rogues have to be careful there. They only have a 25-second grace period to get an uncontested opener. After that, it's basically a free-for-all as Vex saps up onto Trickster, waiting for that Power Word shield to fall off and get his opener. Is it going to fall off in time? It does, right at the perfect moment as he opens up with a cheap shot into a 5-point kidney. Blood Fury up on Vec as well. He's not going to be healing during this matchup. He's not going to be needing it as the second Power Word shield comes out from Trickster. Shadow Word Pain immediately onto Vec as well. I'm sorry, no, Vec reflects the Shadow Word Pain onto Trickster, and now Trickster is in big trouble. Lands the grenade, does Vec, with the Barov Peasants just eating up every single Shadow Guard proc on Trickster. And there's the kidney shot into the blind. Vec taking a lot of damage from that Shadow Word Pain, but it's not going to matter. Trickster is completely vulnerable right now.
Yeah, this is a huge reset here for Vec. He used the blacksmithing trinket right there, the glimmering mithril insignia, to get immunity for that fear. And now he's able to get another opener, a cheap shot. If the kidney shot doesn't resist, he should be fine. He doesn't even go for the kidney shot, just finishes him off with the cold blood eviscerate there. It kind of rots you down. To have those extra heals is big. I think we're going to see a sap right there. As soon as the weakened soul is about 1 second left, that's when the rogue typically likes to go for that sap. So Trickster, you know, he can't do anything about that since it is an uncontested opener still. But for future reference, you can fear in that little gap and try to guess it. You know, Vex can open up with that cheap shot, presumably into the kidney shot. Actually gets resisted, I do believe there, and that's big trouble for Vec here. Trickster now getting a little bit of distance, but the Zoo is on him here. You can see Vec trying to dodge that fear, but Trickster doing a great job holding on to it, and he fears him out of Vanish. This is a huge swing in the matchup here for Trickster. Now Vec has to use his Vanish immediately out of this, or at least try to get in range for the blind. He's used preparation. There's the sprint. He's going to look for the Vanish, and Trickster with a beautiful cloaking device summons the Mithril Dragon Link there to really buy his Shadow Word Pain as much time as possible. They're really high IQ play there. But Vec, he does have that 8-set bonus to work with. He goes for the grenade, and now presumably he's going to go for the blind, but it's not going to be enough. The Mithril Dragon Link and that dot it's going to be interesting to see if that playstyle can work for him against the Druid.
Very excited to see that Beast Mastery spec go off as Reverie Dead Zone Stream Snipe into the Entangle Roots. He pops the Spider Bell, however, into the Intimidation Stun. Reverie's completely vulnerable out of form. Viper Sting comes out from Stream Snipe. Reverie having to pop that early NS. There's the multi-shot as well, but the grenade lands onto Stream Snipe from Reverie. He pops the Insect Swarm, pops the Moonfire, pops the damage as he hops back into bear form with that newly acquired AGM. Had to fight his own Guild Master to pick it up earlier this week. He finally got it. We'll see if it's going to be helpful for him here as he's bleeding down that damage. Gets a full regrowth off. He does, but there's that pesky Viper Sting once again as Reverie's bleeding out his mana. Meanwhile, Stream Snipe in the back. He's got a couple of dots on him, but it's not going to matter. The War Stomp onto the pet. Doesn't matter. There's the grenade. It lands for Stream Snipe, and he gets the trap.
That was an insane play right there because you're BM, you don't have that scatter shot. So he goes for the grenade, stops the heal, and goes for the trap. This is a big swing. He gets the full bandage of it. Now he's going for the death ray. Reverie, what are you going to do?
He cancels us it early. Are you kidding me? Oh my
Early
god.
cancel on the death ray. But he's going to have intimidation stun up soon. This is not looking good for Reverie.
And he does go down.
You have a lot of pushback, so it's nice, and you get that intimidation stun as well, so you can burst people. But now they're going in right once again here. Reverie caught up in that net right there. You can see Stream Snipe firing on all cylinders here with all that damage, but he is dropping low. Reverie doing a good job keeping the pressure up. There's the War Stomp going for the regrowth. Is he going to be able to finish it off, or is Stream Snipe just going to take this? The nade unfortunately resisted there for Reverie, and now he's going for a big healing touch. I don't think he's going to get this. I think that's a big mistake. Oh, it is a lower rank healing touch. He does get it off, and there now he has full dots on Stream Snipe. That was a big momentum swing, and Stream Snipe gonna go down there.
And we have somebody that a lot of people didn't expect to make it here, Sagu the Mage, who most people did not know going into this tournament. This duel fires off right away. Immediate spell lock onto Sagu as Yabs pops the Gnomish cloaking device, and Sagu now is running around like a chicken with his head cut off. It looks like the death coil got resisted, though, as Sagu looks to unload right back here onto this SL Warlock Yabs from the Guild Dogs, but it doesn't matter. Look at all the dots just ticking onto Sagu right now. No, there's the death coil. It's a Nightfall proc at the start. Sagu does block it off as he eats some more dots and lands the grenade.
Yeah, Yab's doing a really good job so far, keeping up the pressure, and now he's caught up in that improved counterspell. Sagu going for the Arcane Explosion. The Medicine Pouch actually gets used, and Sagu committing the Cold Snap here is really going all out with all of his cooldowns. You see the second Ice Block comes out there. Yabs, what are you going to do? He's going for the Dark Iron Bomb here onto the Pats, and he's trying to dot them down, and now Sagu going for that evocation. He needs to interrupt this. Yab's doing a big mistake here, allowing Sagu to get so much HP and mana back here. Yab's on the ropes now because he's not been spamming that fear button. I'm not sure, but Sagu going for those Arcane Explosions, and he's going to be able to take it completely clean right there, I think.
Sagu versus Yabs, the last duel of our first set here on day 4 of the CDL. As we get started, Sagu immediately blinking in, as you said, Zico, with that pressure game, gets the Frost Nova off onto Yabs' Barrows, and he's able to take them down with the Coat of Cold. Sagu pops the Shadow Reflector Trinket into the improved counter spell. He's got Yabs on the ropes right now, completely spell locked, as Yabs does hit the Death Coil, unfortunately there for Sagu, but he's able to recover, gets right back into range here as he keeps the pressure up. There's the fear. Is it going to be willed? It's willed instantaneously by Sagu as he just keeps trying to pump damage into Yabs. But look at that tanky SL Warlock. He can just take this damage over and over and over again. Doesn't matter much to him as the full duration fear gets cast onto Sagu with the Shadow Bolt to boot. And now he's looking to take a lot of damage here, Zico.
Yeah, and there's the first aid with that full fear, and that's why we need those blocks. You gotta have breakers for those full fear, otherwise the momentum just swings so much in the lock's favor. But now Sagu going back in, he does have a little bit of mana to work with, but there's a full spell lock there over onto Sagu, and the wand should be enough to finish him off with those dots.
With our next set of duels, starting off with Sony Digital versus the Dagger Rogue Vec.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see here. This is a big matchup, and you can see Vec already opening up here over on Sony Digital, gets the sheep shot, gets the kidney shot, and he's going for a few backstabs here. There's the evasion, and actually that fear immediately broke for Sony Digital, I believe by the barrels. I'm not sure. Very unfortunate for him because he needed that to kind of reset his momentum. Now Sony going for the grenade, gets resisted, and now he's going for piercing house, but Vec's doing a great job here, keeping his distance, and he's going to go in now for a few more backstabs and another kidney shot. Vec kind of ducking in and out, vanishes, and there's the sheep shot. He got a full rupture there actually instead of the kidney shot. I'm not sure if that's going to be a mistake. He can't blind right now, and he desperately needs to. Sony now with the War Stomp, and there it is, big damage. He gets blinded, but it immediately breaks there. Perfect reset on his DR where he doesn't take damage with that zoning. And now it's going to open up. Cheap shot, followed up with the gouge. Berserker Rage comes out. There's the kidney shot, but Sony actually gets a Mithril Dragonling there in between the stunts there. So that's going to be doing some work for Sony. Now, Vec popping that evasion, trying to do what he can here to survive the situation. And it's actually an Arcanite Dragonling. So that thing is going to be doing nasty damage if Vec doesn't deal with it. He goes again for the rupture. Sony piercing house Vec out of stealth right there, and he lands the nade. Now Sony on the aggressive here knows that he can't get blinded for a couple more seconds. And Vec, what are you going to do? He needs to wait, and he blinds as that rupture fades, and now he's killed the Arcanite Dragonling, and I do believe he can get a re-stealth sap here, but it breaks early, and then he dies because of it. Wow.
Those synonyms, chat. We're using absolutely all day, every day. As we look at Titan Frost's quick strike ring. God, I am jealous. He launches the Goblin Mortar to start off this duel as he tries to go for the big Wind Fury crit, but there's the Psychic Stream. Lands onto Titan Frost. No Glimmering Mithril Insignia, so no fear immunity. He might get kited all day, as you said, Zico, as Trickster does quick work, makes quick work, I should say, of all of the totems, and Titan Frost is going to do what he can to get back in melee range. No Goblin Rocket Boots. No way to close back in. No nifty stopwatch. He's just lumbering down the battlefield slowly but surely as the Shadow Word Pain Ticks take him down. But there's the Goblin Mortar coming out from Trickster now into the Mind Flay. Blackout proc stun to boot with the Power Word Shield. The second Psychic Scream. Time Frost is in huge trouble here. Regardless of whether or not he goes down within the duration of the sphere, he's going to have no way to get back into rage in time. And there's the Silence, preventing the Lesser Healing Wave into the Mind Flay and into the victory for Trickster.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You need something to close the gap with. A net trinket would be really, really good, actually, for Titan Frost. I'm not sure if he has it. Just something that he can use to close the gap there. And he's going for the Frost Shot, gets the spell, though. He now is getting kited. There's a Vampiric Embrace. There's a nice nade, though, from Titan Frost. Here we go. Storm Strike, not going to get that Wind Fury proc. And Trickster now, with the counter nade and the nifty stopwatch, look at the distance that he's able to get from that. Completely just deflects that whole attack there from Titan Frost. But I like what Titan Frost did there with the nade. He goes for the Frost Shot, he goes for the nade, allows himself to kind of reset that situation. And I actually don't mind this play here from Titan Frost. He's sitting down for a drink. He knows he's not going to reach Trickster right now, and there is a new Shadow Word Pain there. He's going for a couple of lesser healing waves. The duo is basically reset, and I think Titan Frost is actually playing around his nade cooldown right now, which is very intelligent. So if he can charge over onto Trickster, the next time his grenade is up, he's going to have another opportunity to do a Storm Strike like that. If he gets a big Wind Fury, a triple Wind Fury crit right there, then all of a sudden he has all of the momentum. I want to see him put down a Tremor Totem before he gets all the way over there, though, and make it a little bit harder for Trickster to kill. Not going to go for that right now, though. He does have the Grounding Totem, and there it is. Shock into Shadow Reflector. Now Trickster into the grenade, and there it is. Big Wind Fury proc, but he didn't have the Tremor Totem down, so he's going to sit a full fear here. Trickster now, he does have the silence to work with. If he silences him, he can just end the duel. But Trickster, respecting that Hand of Rag, taking his distance right now, just applying the new dots, the Hex of Weakness. He's trying to just run Titan Frost out of mana. I hope Titan Frost just turns around and starts drinking again. I really like that. If he stops Trickster, he's actually doing what Trickster wants him to do.
Absolutely, and as you said, Zico, he played around that nade cooldown so effectively in the first set right there, but Trickster's not going to give him another nade cooldown in this second set as they exchange damage, or should I say, Trickster exchanges damage onto Titan Frost, who just left netted, unable to do anything. He's silenced up as well, gets the Storm Strike off, but it's not going to be enough, not enough Wind Furies to save him there.
Well, mages they scale really well. And, I mean, that's a big thing. You have a lot more damage than you did before, but still, I would still say that the Druid is advantageous in this matchup. Right now, you can see Reverie caught up in a big combo right there, forced to use his Nature Swiftness. And Reverie, he's one of those Druids that is extremely hard to kill as a mage. I've lost to him many times, so we'll see if Sagu can keep up the pressure. Right now, it's looking good. He's going for the rank 1 Frostbolts, keeping the snare up, allowing his barrows to really do some work. And now Reverie going for a big healing touch, refreshing his dots right there. And he keeps running all the way to the outside of the dueling range. As long as he can keep his distance, he should be fine here against Sagu. Just don't get hit by the Cone of Cold. And now big grenade Frostbolt combo here by Sagu. He does have the improved counterspell as well to work with. There's the War Stomp. Reverie in big trouble here. Could easily go down here. He's going to have to use something. Sagu going for the Scorches. Not going to be enough there, but that was a close moment there. Now Sagu going for the evocation right there. As long as Reverie keeps his dots on the target here, he should be good. But I want to see an Innovate here used by Reverie. I'm not sure if he's used it yet, but you have to commit that cooldown in duel number 1 as the Druid. That was the mistake Matt did against Zaryu, and it costed him at 0-2. So Reverie very low on mana, but Sagu very low on health. The Moonfires are coming in. Another Ice Block on the Moonfire here. Sagu doing what he can to try to stay alive, but he gets Moonfired out of the Ice Block, and Reverie did use the Innovate there and did take the first game right there. Sagu's not out of it yet. Reverie shouldn't have Nature Swiftness for a little bit at least, so This first nade combo is what we're going to have to watch out for. And Reverie playing very safe. And there it is. Nade with the Frostbite gets resisted. And that is killer for Saga right there. Such a big burst window right there. He's going to be lost because of that resist. And now the Frost Reflector coming out from Reverie as well. He was able to hold on to that, but his dots are doing so much work here to Sagu. Sagu realizing he has to play very defensively, and Reverie just playing that max range game so beautifully. He knows that he needs to use some mana effective spells here over onto Sagu, otherwise he's going to go out of mana. So Sagu, he doesn't have any barriers now for a while, no ice blocks as well. These dots are going to do a lot of damage here, so Reverie just needs to be the aggressor, spam that Moonfire 3-4 times in a row, and he should just be able to take the duel. But Sagu trying to get his ice barrier back. Nice improved counterspell there. Unfortunately, he already got dotted up there, and now he should be able to get another ice barrier right there. But after that barrier, he's going to be in big trouble, and now he's going to go for the first hit immediately when those dots fall off. Nicely done there by Reverie to go back into range, make sure that Sagu is not getting a free lay on hands essentially from those bandages. And now once again, Sagu trying to play the defensive game, trying to get a few drink takes. As long as Reverie can just keep his dots up, he should be able to take this duel number 2 convincingly.
And it looks like he's going to do just that. Insect Swarm ticking down along with Moonfire as Sagu tries to kite out Reverie, bait him out to the edge of the duel line so he can recover. Trying to buy himself some time. He might be able to do so here as Reverie does not power shift there, and Sagu able to get the reset that he so desperately needed. Reverie taking the time to man it back up. Nifty stopwatch is on cooldown, so no way to chase down without expending some precious mana as he gets the Moonfire off. But Sagu returning to the battlefield now with a new breath of fresh air, some new life, as well as the grenade lands onto Sagu from Reverie. He pops the NS though. It's back off of cooldown. Duel has lasted so long that he is able to get that NS heal off, and now Sagu gonna do what he can to try to reset once again. It blinks as well, but the travel form being used now from Reverie, Sagu may only get 1 or 2 ticks off at most. There's the improved counterspell to buy Sagu just a little bit more time. Is he going to be able to get it? He gets the first aid bandage off. No tick, however, as the Reverie response is there with the Moonfire, and even with that blink, Sagu not able to get out of range as Reverie hunts him down.
The only reason why Hunter has such a good chance is because of those resets with the scatter traps, allows him to survive the dots. But we're going to have to wait no longer because they're going Stream Snipe with that Viper Sting immediately onto Yabs. There's the pet as well doing a lot of damage there. And Yabs actually taunted the BM pet there for a second with his Void Walker. Nice play. And the net is used there. Now Yabs going into melee range here on the Stream Snipe, caught up in that net, taking tons and tons of damage. The grenade comes out. The Void sacrifice as well there by Yabs, and he goes for the domination, gets another void up there, but he lets his dots fall off, and Stream Snipe actually looking like he's in a prime position here, but the death coil comes out there and life tap to go with that from Yabs. Now can you get a fear here? It would be huge for
Entrapment proc as well into the concussive shot stun. He might have him here. Stream Snipe using that Furbolg medicine pouch to stay alive for the duration that he needed, as well as the Timber Maw defender, but there's the second sack, Zico.
Beautiful recovery here, but Stream Snipe on the ropes here, and Yabs actually be able to take him down with that wand, with that sacrifice, and I can't believe it. It looked like Stream Snipe had him there, but if at least try to min-max, a couple of fear casts from Yabs, so there's more time basically for your pet to do damage. Now you can see Stream Snipe is doing just that, actually allowing his pet to rock Yabs down a little bit with that Viper Sting. Now he's taking a lot of damage, caught up in that grenade, and the Dragonling is doing work here for Yabs. There's a Death Coil over onto Stream Snipe with the Immolate, and Stream Snipe going to use that gnomish belt that gives you an absorb. Now another Viper Sting. Yab's going to be forced into life tap territory. Now what is he going to do? He life taps with the Viper Sting on him. Big mistake there from Yabs. Now he's going to have to life tap one more time, and right there it is. Stream Snipe with another Viper Sting, but he's taking so much damage here. Stream Snipe, how are you going to survive this? And there's the sacrifice, and there is no PM cooldowns actually.
And get the damage down onto Trickster as he charges right in to do so. Immediate Shadow Word Pain is reflected grenade. So immediate Shadow Reflect usage from Sony Digital as he pops the Recklessness, gets the Mortal Strike as well, and he's dishing out the big damage onto Trickster. Uses the Rage Potion too. Trickster is in a lot of trouble here, but he resists the grenade. But the Earthshaker stun coming in the clutch for Sony once again as he uses his Whirlwind, but now Recklessness fades away. He gets the Intercept off. Power Word Shield is still up on Trickster, so Sony has to deal with the absorb damage here, and you can see he's unable to generate the rage that he desperately needs. Full Psychic Scream unleashed onto Sony Digital, but he reciprocates with his own intimidating shout, and with dots ticking, he's only able to get one bandage tick, but there's the Earthshaker stun once again bailing Sony out there as he gets a Mortal Strike off as well. Power Word Shield, though, coming up for Trickster, absorbing the damage, preventing Sony from generating rage, and the Mind Flays to boot. Sony drops the duel despite using Recklessness against Trickster. As we get ready for our next set of duels here, Vec, the 8-piece Dagger Rogue, 8-piece Night Slayer Dagger Rogue versus Titan Frost, the Click God. Zico, what do you think? Does Titan Frost stand a chance here?
Yeah, I think Titan Frost has a chance. I mean, Vec is really the one on the timer here. He has to play a clean game. It's an Orc Shaman. You know, if a stun gets resisted, he's going to be problematic. And he's going for the sap and then killing off every single totem. So Titan Frost makes a pretty significant mistake there, not being in Ghost Wolf. He can actually stop Vec from getting a sap by just camping Ghost Wolf and keeping his totems out. So that's a big error right there. But the sap misses there for Vec, unfortunately, and Titan Frost batches out of the previous sap, so Vec has to use a Vanish right away, and there it is. Storm Strike comes in, beautiful nade right there, but Vec immediately breaks out, and there's the Poison Cleansing Totem. Titan Frost trying to anticipate that blind, but Vec is playing with fire here, quite literally. And he has the Hand of Rag to help him do that, and also he's going to start this duel in Ghost Wolf, so Vec can't slap him and kill off all of his totems. Nice adaptation there for Titan Frost. Vec, Sheep Shot into Kidney, nothing resists, and now he's killing off the Poison Cleansing Totem, going for a blind. Titan Frost actually had a small second there to get that Poison Cleanse off, and look at Vec stuttering to the right, so that Searing Totem all the way behind you, tips to the left, doesn't get him out. Nice movement there by Vec. He's going to get the sap. He's going to get the first aid. He has one more set of cooldowns to work with. Titan Frost needs to pray that one of these Sheep Shots or Kidneys resist. We're going to find out momentarily here. And there it is. Actually going for the ambush play right there. Nice done there by Vec. Doesn't want to gamble against that Orc ratio, the hardiness at 25% to get one more defensive trinket instead of that AGM, which he probably would have used instead. So I think Reverie actually will take this. We'll see. Yaps is favored though, that's for sure, as he goes for that Immolate. But Reverie playing the max range game beautifully so far, just applying his dots. And right now he actually doesn't have a Moonfire or an Insect Swarm, so he's going to look to get those. And there it is, Mithrin Glimmering Insignia popped by Reverie, and he actually whiffs the grenade there, I do believe. And Yaps dispelling himself with that Devour Magic. Is actually going to remove the Insect Swarm. Now he's going to have time to go for a big first aid right there. Reverie forced to try to cancel that. And for the Warlock, this is all about mana. You just want to keep yourself healthy and to keep Reverie from just going out of mana. If Yabs gets in trouble, he can drain life, he can drain mana. And there it is. He can also press that button right there, the Death Coil. I'm going to heal him up nicely and also do a bit of damage. But I do think the Blacksmithing Insignia was still up onto Reverie there, so he doesn't actually get the fear. Yabs, no dots on him once again. Reverie just has such a hard time keeping his dots up and also running. Every time he runs, that Fell Hunter is just eating up his debuffs, and it's also eating up Yabs' debuffs, and it's doing a decent amount of damage. Now Yabs, once again, caught up with those dots. Now Reverie going for the Wrath, but Yabs going for the full fear, and there it is. Shadow Reflector gets juked out. Nicely done there by Yabs, and he keeps dispelling himself with that Devour Magic. It's going to make it so tough for Reverie because he has to keep reapplying his dots. So Yabs is playing this duel out perfectly. Nice war stomp there by Reverie, but I don't think it's going to be enough as the spell up comes out and those dots take him down. He's going to have to equip his Staff of Dominance, go for a bit more aggressive play here as he gets those bleeds out. The Moonfire comes out, the Insect Swarm comes out, and one thing Reverie could do actually is he could cover his dots with a Fury Fire. So when Yabs dispels himself, he dispels the Fury Fire instead of the Moonfire or the Insect Swarm. That's what I would like to see from Reverie in this next duel. Another nade. I'm not sure if that was the Orc ratio, if that was a whiff, but now he's caught up in the Death Coil. Full fear here for Yabs, looking to close this one out. Nice counterspell there, and he has all of the dots doing all of the work right there. Full fear once again. Yabs might just go for the Shadow Bolt right here, and he is. I think Reverie is just going to be toasted unless he has a nature swiftness or something. Shadowburn comes crashing in. Reverie on the ropes, and he's going to go down there. 2-0 to Yabs. Sagu, we're going to see here actually what is he running. He's running the Nat and the Mark of Resolution here. So just shove Nat immediately and go as hard as possible. Blinks on top of him, Stream Snipe with the cloaking device. He's going to get taken out, and there's the Net as well from Sagu, keeping him rooted. And you can see here the Arcane Explosions are coming out. Sagu's doing what he can here. And I want to see an Intimidation stun, and there it is from Stream Snipe. Now, if he can pre-trap the block, or if he can get a nade into a trap, he's going to be in a great spot here. But Sagu has him by the ropes, and there it is. Mortar from Stream Snipe trying to get a little bit of distance, but he's not going to be able to. Sagu all over him here with the Arcane Explosion, with the Cone of Fold, and there it is. Another Fire Blast and another Arcane Explosion is going to be able to close out that duel.
No ice blocks, I believe, left for Sagu. I think he used both of them there, right? Or did he just use one?
He still has one to work with, I'm pretty sure. So Sagu's still in a pretty prime position there, and the Frost Reflector comes out immediately from Stream Snipe. There is the grenade from Sagu, and he's looking to get that pressure going immediately. Now Stream Snipe, there it is. Second ice block for Sagu. If Stream Snipe can get a trap here, he will straight up win this duel. He dodges the Goblin Mortar right there, or resists it, but Stream Snipe in a Frostbite right now, and this Frostbite is not breaking, and Stream Snipe's keyboard might be breaking after that.
As we go over to our overall scoreboard for today so far, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys would like to see our full standings, !standings in the chat right now, it will take you to the CDL.gg website, where you can find all information, news, and updates related to the CDL. Right now, as you guys can see, we've got both Group 1 and Group 2 up for you guys. The second half of Group 1 is the group that's going today. So Reverie, Stream Snipe, Sagu, Trickster, Vec, Titan Frost, and Yabs. And as you guys can see, we're updating this live. Yabs with 5 wins, Sony with 4 wins, Titan Frost yet to pick up a win today so far, Vec at 3, Trickster at 5, and Sagu at 3, Stream Snipe at 1, Reverie at 3. So, but fortunately, they both were able to pick it up, and no more drama continued. As we see Reverie getting ready to set up the stun opener onto Sony Digital. Pops the Entangling Roots right away as Sony spider belts out of the roots, pops his Rage Potion, and gets the damage onto Reverie, who's out of form, into the Earthshaker stun. Reverie forced to use the Gnomish Cloaking Device right away, but Sony Digital, with the presence of mind, to use the Demo Shout, into the Intimidating Shout, into the damage, into the nade. Sony's caught up in the net, but it's not going to matter. The extra range on that Tauren Warrior, are you kidding me? Hitting Reverie from downtown and taking him out there.
The other duels, you kind of want to get into a flow of how to use your cooldowns. But now we can see Reverie open up here, stun into Entangling Roots, and now he's getting that distance. There's the Spider Belt from Sony into the Horn Viking helmet, and now let's see what is Sony gonna do out of this.
This is a great play here by Sony. I really like it, but the Harpy breaks it early, and he's forced to intercept immediately into the Mortal Strike Whirlwind Wombo combo. Pops his AGM as well. Big Harpy play there by Reverie, who had to do absolutely nothing, but RNG was in his favor as he pops the Demoralizing Roar, trying to kite Sony away from him. He's just eating all of that damage in bear form right now, eating everything he can. Pops the Frenzied Regen as well. So Reverie looking to recover here, and looking just to tank Sony up, gets the bash off into the Entangling Roots. We'll see Sony go for the Spider Belt play. No, he does not. He's already broken out of the roots as of now, so he's forced to eat this full root duration. The Starfire is getting queued off, but Reverie runs away from Sony's grenade. It still lands, however, as Sony gets the intercept off once again. No Mace stun to bail him out this time, however, as he gets rooted yet again with that Nature's Grasp. Regrowth coming out from Reverie. He's forced to regrowth into a Mortal Strike, so not much healing. The grenade looks like it lands or potentially breaks instantaneously because of the Moonfire, and now Sony's trying to run for dear life, recover if he can, but those Insect Score Moonfire dots are ticking on him, and he does go down. Do you think Vec as an Orc Rogue has any chance here against the SL Lock, Zico?
No, I don't think he's got a big chance, but he's going to go for the cheap shot into the kidney, and there it is. Big ambush coming out, and now he's going to pop that Glimmering Mithril Insignia, I do believe, right there, unless that was the Shadow Reflector. Kind of had the same animation. Oh, no, there it is. So he popped the Shadow Reflector and the Mithril Glimmering Insignia, and now he's going for the Vanish. Big Eviscerate there, but there's Death Coil and Yaps going for the Wands, and Vec, honestly, he can't even dent Yabs here. Yabs is just a tank at this point, and he's just running with those dots, doing all of the work.
We'll see him adjust in this second duel as he gets the cheap shot off onto Yabs, into the kidney shot, hoping for some big backstab crits or something is Vec. Curse of Agony comes up, but he does get the blind off. And with Curse of Agony ticking, he's going to try to go for the Voidwalker potentially. No, he goes for the Vanish instead. But the Curse of Agony breaks it early. He's forced to gouge, not able to get his ambush off. And now Vec has to prep and blind once again. We'll see if he goes for the Vanish as well. But no, instead he goes for the big bomb into what looks like a backstab. The damage does come out from Vec, and Yab's in serious trouble, but he sacks the Voidwalker. Yabs the eviscerate damage, trying to break through that shield. Feldom and immediately cast by Yabs into the Death Coil. Now he has Vec exactly where he wants him, but with the sprint, Vec's able to get back into melee range, gets the gouge off as well, and he's trying to kite this Voidwalker if he can. Is he going to be able to break through this shield damage? He is not, and there's the double sack coming out from Yabs after that Feldom. There's nothing Vec can do here. Corruption is cast, and Vec goes down. Two of the current leaders of the bracket today thus far, and they get started here as Trickster drops the Shadow Word Pain onto Sagu, who immediately grenades, gets the Frost Nova off as well, summons the Battle Chicken. He's ready to summon the Zoo. Psychic Stream, Will of the Forsaken by Sagu, who gets landed by a grenade. And then Trickster, is he going to go for the Mind Blast? No, he does not. Instead, Sagu, staying in melee range, hits the Cone of Cold as well, and he's ready to fire off some big arcane explosions. The Mind Blast is not blocked. It's batched into the block, so Sagu does take the damage, forced to Whipperoo Tuber, but he's silenced out of that Whipperoo Tuber, and he's taken so much damage here from the Mind Flay. Goes for the Polymorph. Does he get it? He does, but the Shadow Word Pain tick takes Sagu down despite the bandage being cast. Zico, the Black Lizard Master, joining me today on this cast, guys. Let's show him some love on Twitch, twitch.tv/ZicoFTW, or on Twitter @ZicoFTW, as we start this second duel of this best of two, Trickster versus Sagu, Priest versus Mage. And here we go. Shadow Word Pain cast onto Sagu, who lands the grenade. He's going to go for the Frost Nova, and he gets it. Going for the Frostbolt as well. Psychic Scream isn't going to come out. It does not. The Silence comes out instead into the Mind Flay, but the Goblin Mortar interrupts the Mind Flay by Sagu a little bit more time as he pops the Shadow Reflector, and the grenade is resistant, so he does get some damage off, firing off the Scorches. The Polymorph, does it land? No, he has to blink forward. Poly's once again Trickster. He's going to get out of range. He does not, but Sagu, just like the previous, still has the Shadow Word Pain ticking, so he has to block it off into the bandage, and he's able to recover here a little bit, Zico.
This is a big... No! That is so heartbreaking to see the heartbeat of Trickster break that poly early right there. Sagu was actually in a really good situation there. Trickster's mana was looking low. Sagu had the advantage there, but the heartbeat, you can tell Trickster, he's just playing WoW, going for rank 14 and just doing all kinds of yoga and doing all kinds of cardio here because his heart is ticking fast on those polys, getting him out right there. And now Trickster again with the advantage, gonna go for the Shadow Word Pain. Now he's gonna dip in and try to dispel the barrier, and he's gonna dispel himself on this slow, and now he's gonna go for the fear, and then, you know, he's gonna go for the silence here after he gets silenced himself right there for a few one ticks. And now Sagu going for a big combo here, gets the Cone of Cold in Nova, but Trickster should have that Shadow Priest Silence coming out shortly, and not gonna have it, but instead he gets that Shadow Word Pain again. Actually, big mistake there for Trickster, doesn't refresh his Shadow Word Pain. We saw a Shadow Priest do a similar mistake yesterday, and it costed him the duel. Sagu clawing his way back into this one, but Trickster has an uncontested silence right here. And I want to see if Sagu is actually swapping his trinkets right now, because he has an opportunity to do so. And he has swapped over to the Briarwood Reed actually, and he has that Peasant Collar as well. So nicely done there by Sagu, realizing the situation. Now Trickster as well has swapped his trinkets during that reset, and there you can see it. The Barrows Peasants are coming out. The Frost Reflector gets juked by Sagu. Beautiful play right there. Imp CS comes in and Scorch Cone of Cold. Nice combo there. And now Trickster going for a full fear. Sagu with no breakers. He's going to get a new Shadow Word Pain on him, into a Mind Blast, into a silence, and he's going to probably go down right there. There's the Ice Barrier, gets dispelled, and there's the silence, and that is going to be all that she wrote in this duel.
Sagu drops down 0-2 to Trickster, the Shadow Priest, Zico's favorite.
I'm curious to see what he's going to do. There's a Frost Reflector immediately by Stream Snipe right there into a Feigned Death. But Titan Frost waiting out that Reflector before he goes for the Frost Shock. Nice play right there. Going for a lesser healing wave, trying to keep himself top. And there it is. Frost Shock. Can he combo it with the nifty stopwatch? Here comes the Hand of Rag. Is he going to win Fury? He's rolling the dice so far. And there it is. Net backfires. That's gotta sting right there, and not the Viper kind of sting that just stings all over him. The net backfire there for Titan Frost is he had him there in melee range, but damn,
It makes it so hard to use that no mish net, because there's always that chance to backfire. You usually see it paired up with a Spider Belt or an Ornate Mithril Boots, depending on the class, just to give, you know, somebody a little bit of counterplay in case it doesn't go your way. But for Titan Frost, unfortunately, there are no Spider Belt equipped. He took the chance on it and it backfired. But he likes taking chances. He does play an Enhancement Shaman. He lives for that RNG. We'll see if it comes into his favor in this next duel, in this best of two. Hunter versus Shaman. Stream Snipe versus Titan Frost. Can we get some Team Titans in the chat? Let's see if this guy can pick up his first win so far in the CDL. Here we go. Dropping the totems. Getting ready to drop the dual flag.
yeah. Let's go, Team Titan! Can we get some poggers in the chat? Titan Frost needs your energy. Still hasn't been able to pick up a win just yet on the day, but he's looking to take potentially game number 2 against Stream Snipe. There is no big Hunter cooldowns this time around. That was the reason why he got bursted down so heavily. So if he has, you know, rocket boots or anything really that he can close the gap, but he does have the stopwatch, and the net backfires for Stream Snipe. This is his big moment now. There's the grenade, Hand of Rag. It's up to you now. Is he going to get purged? Stream Snipe deflecting a lot of these attacks. It looks like he's just straight up dodging the attacks here from Titan Frost. Titan Frost going for a few lesser healing waves, but this is his time to be aggressive. He needs to get a few swings. Stream Snipe going for the Feigned Death Trap, not able to land it. Titan Frost on full HP. Now he just needs a big Storm Strike, but again with the dodges here, Stream Snipe actually just dodging every single attack during that net. Titan Frost now with the Flame Shock is not going to be able to keep a snare on Stream Snipe, and there are big cooldowns for the BM Hunter, and the Viper Sting is coming out. Titan Frost on the ropes. He's not going to find the Wind Fury that he needs. He's not going to find the win that he needs, and Stream Snipe is going to take it 2-0.